Hello and welcome to the Seed Group Podcast. I'm Carla.
I'm Norman. And I'm Albert Anderson. If you need any of our musical services, please contact us at 708-351-0333.
And we would be remiss if we did not introduce our wonderful producer, Marcus. Hello, Marcus.
Oh,
Yay! And we have a very special guest with us today. Norman, would you like to introduce her?
It would be my pleasure. Today we have a very esteemed, I'll call it healer. Not in the type where, you got the medicine doctors and all those other sort of crazy things, but somebody that really takes the art of healing people seriously. And therefore, she's not in it for the money, so she won't be the one that prescribes, dog chow to be able to cure you of whatever it may be. She goes and she seeks to learn, to get the information, and then she does her own thing too, just to make sure, I'll have her tell you the story that really got my attention when she was giving a little testimony about it. But we're so happy to have, her with us today. So without further ado, let me present to you Dr. Joanne Tate.
Yay!
Oh my goodness, I feel like a star.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to start off with my disclaimer. Health is the true wealth, Health Betterment Ministry. The purpose of Health is the True Wealth Ministry is to provide health betterment information. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, care, or prevent any disease or health ailment. Anyone with serious medical concerns and or issues need to consult with a medical doctor. All individuals are responsible for their health betterment progress. So my name is Joanne Tate. I'm a holistic and energy practitioner. And I call myself the doctor without medicine.
Okay.
And because our body is a natural state. So why are we putting chemicals in it? And if you think about it, they always talk about using drugs. They always talk about drinking alcohol, smoking weed. What are those? Those are chemical elements going into your body. So why are we putting chemical elements in our body to make us well? And I really practice to make things simplified, for people can really put things right in front of them and seriously understand what I'm talking about. So I don't want to make it difficult for you. I want you to understand the process.
Okay.
See, one of I want her to tell you one story. Like I said, it caught my attention and made me realize that she is not in it for like the money. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of doctors out there, they prescribe stuff. There was one doctor that it was for, I had sort of like sleep apnea. Mm-hmm. And one of the prescriptions that he gave me, I just happened to be looking on the web, and the prescription was number one as far as the worst prescription that anybody should take. Whoa. And the other one that he was prescribing that I didn't get a chance to buy or get ready to take it was number two. So he set me up to really for poisoning and everything like that, to get sicker and sicker. I don't know whether he was the kind of low life that would get you sick under the pretense of getting better. And so it's like, you want to go on a diet and this doctor will give you something and make you get fatter. So you're going to want more. We'll try this one too. This one will really help. And you keep trying those tablets and you got a whole closet full of tablets and everything like that, and you're not getting any better because they're going to make themselves richer. And since I'm not rich, I don't need to make you rich.
True.
The
So
thing
true.
that story that I want you to tell was about, I think it was your sister or something that had gallbladder.
Oh, it was my daughter and a young. It's two of them came to me at the same time. One of them was my daughter, and one of them was my niece's friend. And I was summoned to the hospital for both. And it was the same protocol when I got to the hospital. The doctor told me, look at the x-ray. I'm like, yes, I see the x-ray. So tell me what you see. An inflamed gallbladder. What are you going to do? Uninflame it. So the doctors, by this, I guess they had told him who I was. So they were really agitated already that they had talked about me and then called me. So they were really agitated and they were like, well, that's just economic. I mean, no, they said that's just unpractical. I said, it is unpractical. If I'm trying to get money, economically it's unpractical. I said, but it's not unpractical to me. And I told my daughter when she was there, I said, now, I'm not going to argue with these doctors because I'm not going to put myself in that state. Because it's being a holistic and energy practitioner, you have to stay in a spiritual state because God is guiding you to heal. So you have to always stay in that state that you don't let other people's inner, or I call the devil inner, to create chaos. So both of them, I told them, I say, you know what you guys can do? You can pack up, put your clothes on, go home, and I'll meet you there. So I went home. I went to my daughter's house. We sat down and we talked. And I told her, this is not going to be a pleasant journey. I said, because there's some things that I'll tell you to do are not going to be happy for you. But it's okay. I say, but you're going to get better. And it's probably going to take 90 days. That's the difference. Now, if it's trauma, if it's something happening in your body, like you're having a heart attack, you need to go to the medical doctor because they're great at this. They're great at that. That's what they do. You come to me before it gets to trauma. So my daughter and I sat down. I talked to her. I told her what to do. She went on a fast for 90 days. She did things like coffee enemas, liver cleanses. And the purpose of the liver cleanse with the gallbladder, because the gallbladder and the liver work together. And without the liver functioning the way it should, it's not going to do the things it needs to do to keep the gallbladder purified and vice versa. So we did those before we did the coffee element before the cleanse. We do the coffee element after. And 7 days after being on a vegan diet, you start the liver cleanse. So normally I don't start the liver cleanse right away because everybody's not a vegan and you have to be on a vegan diet for 7 days before you start. So each of them did what I told them to do. And I know it's been 7 years or better and they both still have their gallbladder.
Good.
And the thing about the gallbladder is they're going to reroute your gallbladder system to your stomach. And I wonder what they're rerouting there. Bowel. We know what bowel is for. Does it belong in your digestive system? Initially, it probably is not going to cause any problems. But over the years of bowels being dumped into your stomach, it's going to eventually cause a problem. And the first thing they'll tell you, well, it's just your gallbladder. It's just a little thing. It doesn't really mean that much. Let me tell you something. God makes no mistakes. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. He knows what works and what doesn't work. He knows, and I just don't understand why they say this. I had a phone call the other day and I wish I had an answer. A young lady called me about her tonsils. By the time I got back to her, they had took the tonsils out. And you need, your tonsils are like your Marines of your body. They set it up. They set up the immune system. So they're taking that out. And it doesn't have to be taken out. My daughter, again, another daughter, had tonsillitis. And she came to me, she said, Mama, they said they're going to take my tonsils out. I said, baby, can you think you can do what Mommy asked you to do? Because she was just starting college. I said, you think you can do what Mommy asked you to do? She said, sure, Mom, I'm going to try to do it. We worked on it. I told her what to do. I made a tonic for her. And I made the tonic out of echinacea. I have a garden, and I grow purple cornflowers and black-eyed Susies. I grow them. So I took them and made me a tonic. I gave it to my daughter. I told her what to do. We rinsed out her mouth with sea salt and peroxide. We did this for, once again, 90 days. She went back to the doctor. She was in the doctor's office and waiting on the doctor to come. So he came in, he left back out. He came in, he left back out. And she called the nurse. She said, what's wrong? Why am I still here? I've been here over an hour. She said, well, I'll have the doctor come back in. So she asked the doctor, she says, why are you not seeing me? I've been here for over an hour. He said, and he was an Asian doctor. He says, because they have the wrong records. Because there's no way that the tonsils that I see in your mouth, in your throat, are yours. Because these tonsils need to come out that I see on this, this folder. They must have put the wrong ones in. She said, no, they didn't. My mommy has worked on me for 90 days, and those are my tonsils.
Now, since you mentioned tonsils, doctor, my grandson right now, his tonsils are like enlarged. They're larger than what they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were talking about. They said because they're so large, they were saying they're going to have to take them out.
No, we can fix that. We can fix that. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so avid about that. Because at 11 years old, I got my tonsils out. Oh. And you're talking about somebody who was sick for almost all their life because I had no tonsils. I had the fighting machine. And I mean, I had sinus and I had so many issues because they take your tonsils and your adenoids out. So I had no defense. And until I went back to school and found out and changed my lifestyle, because they should not be eating dairy. They should not be eating dairy, nothing, cheese, milk. All those things are mucus, and they're going to add to the issue. So off the phone, Norm, give you my number. And how old is he?
15. It'll be 6 next week.
Okay. We'll work on him.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And believe me, when she says she's going to work on them, the work is done. I mean, there are countless witnesses. She was giving a presentation at my church, and a lot of the people that she had worked on, they were filing up and coming to the microphone saying, well, I had this problem, I had this disease, I had this wrong, and everything like that. And they're looking healthy and they're happy and they're saying, because Dr. Joanne helped me. She showed me what I'm supposed to do. There you go. You know, so it's like she helps you.
And you know what I do? When I give a presentation, I try to get people that people will identify with. So I like to get the coaches and the teachers and the principals and the social workers and the psychologists and the doctors. I try to get them because people will listen to them to show that, you know, my niece she's a psychologist. I try to get people like that to come up and for people can listen to them because you guys need to hear this. You know, God clearly made this body perfect, but it's up to us to take care of it. And the problem is we don't identify as our body as being a temple. Our body it was bought as a price. It's a temple. And why are we not treating it that way?
True. Do you ever give seminars?
Yes, I do seminars. Actually, I do a lot of them at the church. I do one every third Monday. We do a Zoom, and at that Zoom, it's we have numerous practitioners, regular doctors. This past week, we had Dr. Terry Mason, that used to be the head. He was on, and he was talking about that all his life, all his patients. He said, this what brought me to reality. All these patients that I'm supposed to be an expert on, and I healed nobody. I just prescribed medicine. And what we have to understand is when you go to college, they tell us about statistics and norms. But when you're talking about a human being and their medical health, there are some components that have to be inclusive of health betterment. And they are physical, nutritional, emotional, mental, social, environmental, financial, and most of all, spiritual. And if any one of those are unbalanced, guess what? So are you. You can't play with it. All of them have to be in place, or the body's going to be in balance.
So she's what I call my personal expert, because I had the pleasure of knowing her for a while. And her heart is sincere, and like I said, I've seen people and that give testimonies about how they were suffering from this or that, and she helped them have a better life, rather than being fed a bunch of little poison pills or whatever the new thing is. And you come to find out that the things that they're teaching these doctors, that the ones that are teaching them know that it's not going to work, knows that it's going to make the people actually worse.
You're absolutely right, because medicine will only sustain the body until you decide to do better. And if I don't even have to make an argument with this. Well, the last time you guys got a prescription, did you pull out the white paper?
The one that tells you to do this, might even.
And the side effects? Right. Even on a commercial, it'll tell you this will do this, and here are the side effects.
Right.
And even when you're taking medicine until you can do better, most of my patients, they take medicine until they can do better.
Right.
But then we do a cleanse, because that medicine is going to attack your liver. And when a liver has 500 plus jobs to do, and every one is important. So we have to cleanse the liver. We need to cleanse the body. I can ask you guys, when the last time you had your oil change? When the last time you had your oil change?
Well,
in your car?
Mine changes a lot because it runs out. I've got
No, but when is the last time you had your oil change?
My dietitian, Dr. She's not a doctor, evangelist, Yvonne Walker. She actually was recommended recently that I should go get a colonic. And, what do they call it? Colonic? I think where you like.
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah.
It's a colonic.
Yeah. She advised me recently I need to get that because I told her what I was doing and I'm doing this and I'm doing okay with this. And she said, yeah, well, you still need to go get a colonic. I went,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a pusher of colonics. Okay. You have to make your choice on your own. That's not, because I feel this way. I feel if you do the things you need to do, you eat the 9 to 14 cups of fruits and vegetables every day. If you drink half your body weight in water, if you're intaking the vitamins and the minerals that you need in order to create the functionality of your body, if you're exercising, you're doing the things you're doing and going to God and asking for guidance, you don't need a colonic. Because if you eat within that hour, 2 hours, you should be eliminated.
Well, Dr. Tate, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I have a question. How do you get that amount of vegetables, fruit, whatnot? How do you get that amount in your body?
If you don't eat it, you drink it.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Okay? If you don't
Okay.
eat it, you drink it. It's
Okay.
okay. It doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, guess what? Drinking it digests as fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't eat it, drink it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Between my smoothie and the green vibrant, like she advised me to do, I've been doing a lot better. I'm
Yeah.
maintaining the weight, everything,
Wonderful.
blood pressure, everything is perfect.
Yeah. And
That's
blood pressure. And you know what? I wish the doctors would explain blood pressure. Blood
Mhm.
pressure is the what? The flow of your blood
Mhm.
through your
Mhm.
veins. And the pumping of the heart to create that flow through your veins.
Mhm.
So if the heart has to work harder to push through the veins, it's going to create stress. And that's going to create a rise in your blood pressure.
Mhm.
But as I tell people, the same thing happens when you're in the kitchen and you're making gravy and it's too thick. You add some water to it. And guess what? It'll thin out. If you're drinking your amount of water, and actually if you're drinking it and you put chlorophyll in it, because chlorophyll cleans the blood. The clogging in your blood or the thickness of your blood is because you're eating a bunch of junk. You're eating a bunch of junk and you need to push that junk out. And you need to make sure that when you guys are eating, it says non-GMO.
Right.
If it's GMO, that means that it's being made in a lab. It's not God. And you know, when people say, but Dr. Tate, it costs too much. Go give me a bill from Whole Foods and give me a bill from any hospital you choose. And I'm willing to bet you that doctor bill gonna cost more than that Whole Food bill. I bet you. So you have to decide what's important. You know, what's important is it because if your life is through, or if you can't move around, you can't even think about doing anything to continue to get anything.
Oh, wow. Those are true words. And I must say, Dr. Tate, we are so grateful that you have come on the program, that you have returned. And we thank you. And I just want to know before we wrap everything up, that is the perfect note to wrap things up on. Do you all have anything you all want to ask? Any more questions you want to ask?
Let me think. I have to wait till the camera's off. No, I don't think so.
What we would like is to keep this one in mind, this podcast. And we will, is from time to time, try to bring Dr. Tate back.
Definitely.
And then, maybe she can come in for a short little vignette to let you know about one issue, if you may have this issue or this, for whenever she's available, we can have a Ask Dr. Joanne segment or whatever. And for the betterment of your body, she'll give you a lot of very, very good and important information that you don't have to run to the hospital to talk to a doctor to have that taken care of. You could do it yourself. Go ahead, hang a shingle out of your front door and say, "Now you doctor, whatever your name is, because I got rid of this thanks to Dr. Tate."
Well, you know what? Actually, I want people to truly understand this. A lot of things I do, because even pain, removing pain, I don't need to be with you. I can be around the world because energy goes around the world. But remember this, I am only a tool. Everything I do and all the directions and guidance I have, it's all about God.
There you go. Amen.
That is awesome. So, Seedlings, I'm sorry, what you have to say, Albert?
I was saying I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
And we appreciate you, Dr. Tate, and all our seedlings. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful conversation. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you have any questions for Dr. Tate, write down the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is love. And again, thank you for joining us. And as always, plant a seed and watch it grow. Bye-bye.
Bye.